last night, Daddy Dana absolutely blessed us with these amazing matchups. It feels like the UFC is getting back on the hype train because we're finally getting some title fights that a lot of fans have been demanding for. And we're actually seeing movement in some of these dead divisions like light heavyweight and heavyweight. I'm very excited to cover all these matchups. Normally, I would cover all of these on a Friday, but I'm going on vacation, so I'm going to be on a flight then. And also the fact this was a bombshell when it dropped last night. Now, I am kind of late to this, and I understand that nearly every other YouTuber that you watched already covered this topic like last night, if not early this morning. But I already had a plan about a different video about some of the goofiest fighters in the UFC, and so please check that video out if you haven't yet. But I was in the middle of making that video, so I didn't get to talk about these fights. But today we're gonna be talking about all the fights that Dana White had to talk about for the UFC, because again, these are some of the best fights you could make in, especially in the light heavyweight and heavyweight division. And I'm very excited to give my take on almost all of these. All right, now the first matchup I want to talk about, Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira 2. Alex Pereira, now he hasn't had any sort of hype ever since he lost the belt to Magomed Ankalaev. It's almost like all of his Shama fans disappeared. I kind of felt bad for him in a way because, it wasn't like I was the biggest Alex Pereira fan, but I didn't expect Alex Pereira to just lose like almost every single one of his fans after he lost to Magomed Ankalaev in a pretty close fight. That being said, though, I'm gonna go with Magomed Ankalaev in the rematch. I think Magomed Ankalaev is gonna win this. Like, spoiler alert, I'm not really gonna give any controversial opinions for any of the fights that were announced because I'm not just here talking about the vibes and stuff. Like I'm picking with my head for once instead of talking about Dustin Poirier is gonna win off the vibes or like Charles Oliveira is gonna win off the vibes and stuff like that. Like I've done that way too many times and my heart's been broken way too many times. And also, I don't have as much interest in a lot of these fighters career wise, so I'm more inclined to pick my opinions objectively. But yeah, the reason I'm gonna go with Magomed Ankalaev is because he already beat Alex Pereira. I think Magomed Ankalaev he's very capable of putting on a similar performance that he did in the previous fight. And plus, you gotta consider this: Alex Pereira. Uh, he has been on a long layoff ever since he lost the belt. Like the dude has just been on going tours. Like he's not really in the training room like he used to. Like more often or not, you'll probably see Alex Pereira at some sort of major event or anything along those lines. And also you gotta consider this. Magomed Ankalaev fought Alex Pereira during Ramadan. I don't think this is a big factor that a lot of people are bringing up, but I think Magomed Ankalaev's gonna look a lot better in this fight because he doesn't have to fight during Ramadan. Like I know that Ankalaev got to postpone his Ramadan and stuff like that, but I feel like it was a big sacrifice for him. So now that that pressure of keeping up with Ramadan isn't on the line, I think Magomed Ankalaev is gonna just look a lot better than he used to. And he's just gonna be able to improve on his performance. Whereas Alex Pereira, he's getting older. He's like what 38 years old now. I think a lot of his confidence died in that fight with Magomed Ankalaev the first time, and I just rely on Magomed Ankalaev based on the tools that they have. You know, I originally said that Magomed Ankalaev was gonna win via close decision in their first fight. But Magomed Ankalaev this time, I think he's gonna get the job done. More decisively, if not by finish. Maybe Alex Pereira has a chance, but based on momentum right now, I think Magomed Ankalaev is gonna win this fight. All right, now moving on to the co-main event for UFC 320, Merab Dvalishvili versus Corey Sandhagen. Very similar to the first fight I talked about. I just can't pick against Merab. Like he's just looked dominant in every single one of his fights. Like there are openings for Corey Sandhagen. Like sure, his jujitsu is actually very nice, where he can scramble and just try to recover like dominant positions, and he is able to like keep range unlike most fighters. Like uh, I just don't think Corey Sandhagen's really gonna put away Merab Dvalishvili, which is why I'm gonna pick Merab to win this fight. Like unless you just catch him clean with like a left hook or something like that. Like I don't think Merab's ever gonna lose a fight. Like he's not losing by decision. You're not really gonna submit Marab. I don't think Corey's gonna be the guy to do so, if anything. And I know Corey Sandhagen, he does have good cardio, but it's not like he's super high paced and output heavy. I think Marab is just gonna be in his face for 5 rounds, and he's just gonna like confuse Corey Sandhagen for a majority of the fight. Maybe Corey Sandhagen can look in good moments, like he can maybe slow down the fight at times whenever Marab's shooting for like his 20th single leg in the second round. Or like maybe Marab he can get his takedown stuff, but he's not gonna get submitted. Marab's very stubborn to get back up to his feet. And on the feet, like sure, maybe Corey Sandhagen can tag him up with a few shots, but Marab is more likely just gonna output max and just smother Corey Sandhagen with a bunch of shots in order to find the takedowns and just repeat the process over and over again to the point where Corey Sandhagen is just gonna get overwhelmed. All right. Maybe Corey Sandhagen does have better chances than Sean O'Malley. Corey Sandhagen overall is the better grappler, but I don't think Sandhagen is going to be able to put away Merab Dvalishvili. And I don't see Corey Sandhagen submitting him, and I definitely don't see him winning a decision. So yeah, I'm gonna go with I'm sorry, Merab Dvalishvili to win this fight. 49-46, 48-47. More likely it's gonna be 49-46, however. All right, now moving on, we got Yuri Prohaska versus Khalil Roundtree. I'm gonna go with Yuri Prohaska. Like, I don't think Khalil Roundtree is really going to be able to smother Yuri Prohaska with like a crazy powerful shot. I don't think Yuri Prohaska's really got to respect the power of Khalil Roundtree. Like, maybe he does. All right, maybe Khalil Roundtree can knock him down. But Khalil Roundtree, he's very tit for tat type of fighter. I know, like in the Alex Pereira fight, he came in blitzing forward every time, trying to like clean Alex Pereira's head off, and it was working effectively. But Khalil Roundtree typically doesn't fight like that. Like maybe there's a chance that he can knock down Yuri Prohaska, but I don't see Khalil really having the same finishing potential as an Alex Pereira. And like I know Khalil Roundtree just dominated Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill, in my opinion, is a more tailor-made matchup. Like I understand that both fighters have like similar weaknesses in terms of defense and all that stuff. But the difference is Yuri Prohaska, he will be in your face and he is going to try to murk you. Like there's no way around it. Yuri Prohaska is an absolute savage. Unless it's a guy like Alex Pereira who's like very counter hook heavy and all that stuff. Like I don't see Khalil Roundtree really pulling off the counters that Alex Pereira was able to do in the two fights he had with Yuri Prohaska. So overall, I'm gonna say that Yuri Prohaska is probably gonna find like a second or third round TKO. Like in the first round, like maybe Khalil Roundtree is like feeling it out and they're just like being able to pick apart Yuri Prohaska's defense. But Yuri Prohaska, he hits you once, and it's like one of the scariest things you'll ever see. Like the second you get badly rocked or wobbled by Yuri Prohaska, he will be in your grill and just absolutely destroy you and try to get you out of the fight. So yeah, I'm gonna say that Yuri Prohaska is probably gonna win this fight within the later rounds and just look like the Yuri Prohaska of old. And I think your Proska's probably going to be the next guy to fight Magomed Ankalaev. Uh, like, assuming Magomed Ankalaev wins the fight against Alex Pereira. All right, now, last but not least, we got Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gahn. This is, like, the fight to make, unfortunately. Like, I know Cyril Gahn technically is coming off a loss to Alexander Volkov, and he did get destroyed by John Jones. Like, it kind of feels awkward that Cyril Gahn's getting a third title shot when he's like what arguably 2-2 in his last four fights since 2023. But I guess there's no one left for Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall literally beat everybody else, so I guess this was the fight to make. And I think that's why I'm gonna pick Tom Aspinall. I don't think that's controversial. Like, if I'm picking Cyril Gahn, all right, the only way he's gonna win is by out kickboxing Tom Aspinall for 5 straight rounds. Is Tom Aspinall really gonna give Cyril Gahn the time to out kickbox him for 5 straight rounds? I don't think so. I think Tom Aspinall, there's multiple ways for him to win. Like, he can potentially knock out Cyril Gahn using his speed and blitz, because I know Cyril Gahn's fast. I don't think he's fought someone who's equally as fast as him, like a Tom Aspinall. And especially on the ground, like, I understand that Tom Aspinall, he's like not as proven as John Jones on the ground. Are we really rating Cyril Gahn's ground game in 2025? Like, Cyril Gahn, the only thing he has is a heel hook. And outside of that, like, what does he do? He doesn't really defend takedowns well. They'll like go for retarded submissions off his back, thinking that this is jujitsu. And again, the heel looks, half the time they don't work. Half the time he's just pulling them off. Like, oh, it's Cyril Gahn. He's gonna heel hook Tom Aspinall because Tom Aspinall lost but via heel hook against a random heavyweight long time ago. Like, I don't really see that happening. Like, Tom Aspinall, he's the man right now. He's going to probably destroy Cyril Gahn. And I'm gonna say this though: if Tom Aspinall struggles against Cyril Gahn, like even more so than John Jones has, then John Jones is gonna be like, "Oh, you people really thought that Tom Aspinall was gonna be the guy to beat me and stuff like that." Like, cause the John Jones, absolute bitch. Like, he just goes out here trying to make everything about himself instead of like just fucking off like everyone wants him to. But yeah, where am I saying? Like, I'm just gonna pick Tom Aspinall to just win this fight. Probably be like first or second round. I'm gonna go more likely with a submission. I think Tom Aspinall, like, yeah, he can test out the feet. It's not like Gon has like one punch knockout power like a Francis Ngannou. But I think Tom Aspinall is going to be able to just dominate Cyril Gahn in the grappling. Like, Tom Aspinall, maybe he doesn't have the technique of a John Jones, but he's certainly a lot bigger than John Jones. He's certainly a lot stronger. And Tom Aspinall is able to work like, basic fundamental jujitsu a lot better than Jones. Whereas like Jones is like, he's a lot more crafty and stuff like that. I just think Cyril Gahn's gonna have a tough time against Tom Aspinall, especially if Tom Aspinall fights smart and decides to just bulldoze Cyril Gahn using a takedown within like the first 20 seconds. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Tom Aspinall round one submission. Maybe he gets like a TKO. Either way though, I don't think Cyril Gahn's really gonna offer that much resistance. All right, that's gonna be it for today's video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about these matchups. Now, I can just continue to sit here and talk shit about Dana White and talk about how he doesn't bring any energy into all of these announcements, but in all seriousness, these are amazing fights, and I'm very thankful to Dana White for once for actually putting fights together that people want to see. But yeah, regardless, leave a comment down below what you guys think. And other than that, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.